questions that have been coming up for me are not small questions. They are capital Q questions. And as they come up for me, I pass them on to you to ask you those same questions, to give you a place to reflect and start that dialogue within yourself. All based on, do you feel that truth resonate through your body? Because I feel that the body is the greatest truth teller. It's how you can tell whether that voice that you're listening to is your ego or God. It's how you can determine the answer to the question I'm going to ask you today. So the question that came up for me this morning is, what is your physical manifestation of God here on earth? That's all. So what do I mean when I ask that question? I mean, obviously, the source and power of God is too big to fit in any object or person. And the relationship is so outsized. It's huge. But there are elements of God in everything, especially in what you choose to hold sacred. So, is the physical manifestation of God for you your family? Is it music? What are the things that truly transport you? And it's okay to say a movie. It's okay. Honesty is much more important than sounding grandiose. Because I have to tell you, in the passing of Olivia Newton-John, I have been listening to my favorite Olivia Newton-John song, which is Magic from the Xanadu soundtrack, and that is a fantastic transportive song. I have it on repeat. I can't stop listening to it. It's amazing. It's mysterious, it's sexy, it's got this little groove going. I love it. There's God in there for me. So I'm not trying to preach this, everything has to be ecstatic, gilded, in a cathedral. There is no distance between you and what you feel is holy and what you feel is sacred. Bring it up close. Bring it all the way in. There's God in my sex. And there's sex in my relationship with God. That's prayer for me. So there's another way to ask the question. What is prayer for you? Maybe it's dancing. Maybe it's playing with your kids. Maybe it's that connection you get when you have that conversation with your children or your grandchildren. That's all God. But what I'm asking you to do is to start to focus on what those things are. Because we are coming up against something that is going to be monumental. And the only way that we can start to build a core to stand strong individually, before we even band together, you need a core of strength within yourself. And you know how I feel about daily regimen and how I feel about your personal relationship with God. But part of that relationship is what is important to you in this world. You were brought in this world, in this body, at this time for a very specific reason. We don't all have to be charging up the hill either. But there is a reason that you're here now. And a reflection of that is what you hold sacred. So today, I ask you to name what you hold holy. If you were going to make a ritual that's really sacred, it doesn't have to be solemn. What would it include? Would it include rolling in the grass with your kids? It can be whatever comes to your mind, whatever comes up for you. And then notice where that sits in your body. When I'm centered and I am really like in joy, in bliss, and present, my heart is open, but I feel it right in my center and my center out. So notice when these things start to come up and you think about them, what you really consider holy. Where do you feel it? Physically, where do you feel it? That is what I ask you today. And sit with it. See how it comes through. It might start somewhere and end somewhere else. I will see you tomorrow.